Hey there, Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, Taurus Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directed. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move life forward in the most positive way possible. Before I get into this, I kind of want to just touch on a couple things. I moved the astrology part to its own video, so it's called the Moon and Astrology Report, Weekly Moon and Astrology Report. I will post a link in the comment section below, so you can check out the one for this week. And then they will be coming out on Thursdays, so keep an eye out for those. I will be doing the monthly and the mid-monthlies in the 9-card spread format for a while. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and hit that thumbs up button or leave me a comment, do something to connect your energy with me, so that when I try to get into your energy, it's a lot easier for me to be able to tap into the energy of my viewers, because we've connected somehow. And I was trying to get into your energy, and I have to tell you, Taurus, it was, first it was my throat chakra. So my throat started hurting, and then my heart was all tightened up, and then my head right here, like a tension headache. And I'm like, wow, I don't know what's going on with you. And I couldn't get past all of the stress and the tension. So let's just see what the cards bring out for the answers. This video is going to cover February 1st through the well, this is nice, though. 1st through the 17th, which finishes out the season of Aquarius. And then the next video that comes out will cover the month, the season of Pisces. And so there's that. So today I'm filming this on February 2nd, which is a Sunday, and Mercury has just moved into shadow. Mercury will be going retrograde on the 16th, so during this time frame it'll be going retrograde. So if you want to get anything wrapped up, now would be a good time. But in the meantime, it's slowing down, it's in water, making all this really complicated. The ability to really focus and communicate in a clear manner. So check contracts really carefully. Cross your T's, dot your I's. Mercury does not like being in Pisces, and we have a very long retrograde this time. We have 2 weeks of shadow, and then we have 3 weeks and like a couple of days. 3 weeks and a couple of days of actually being retrograde, and then it stays in the shadow after it goes direct for another like 2 weeks. So this is a very long time frame to be dealing with this energy. So it does for a little while dip back into Aquarius, which will be nice in a little bit in there, so kind of a reprieve, but then it goes forward again. So all right, so this full moon that is happening for depends on where you are. If you are in the United States, Eastern Standard Time, it's happening at 2:33 a.m. on Sunday the 9th. But if you're on the West Coast, then it is happening on the 8th at 11:33 p.m. So I think for, depending on your time zone, I can't do that. So you figure it out. You know where you are in the world. But it's going to be this weekend. And for you, Taurus, expect a powerful change. So this full moon that is happening in your 4th house of home, especially if you're a Taurus rising or a Taurus moon, your 4th house of home changes around the home big time. But I just want you to understand the overall energy for this period of time is serendipity. And so this powerful change actually feels like it's being divinely orchestrated. Something that, some situation that you started maybe 18 months ago. So think back to August of 2018, was there something around the home that changed? So there's going to be some kind of a change that goes with that. Did you start a project? So for instance, it could be like you started a remodel and now it's finally going to wrap up. Wouldn't that be awesome? It could be also that you started something last August and you have like a milestone, a stepping stone, not a completion, but a partial thing. It takes about 18 months to really get through the entire cycle of a moon cycle, like full moons, new moons. New moons where you plant the seeds of attention till you get to the full moon where it actualizes out. If you've never been here before, I do the 9-card spread this way. This is the past, the present, the future, thoughts, feelings, actions. I do clarify them. And I have other clarifying cards that I've been having to use a lot. So let's just see what happens here. So your overall energy, the key to your situation is it's time for a nap. And so in the heart space where all this tension and all this stress is happening, time for a nap means that you're pushing too hard, you're working too hard, you're stressing too hard, you need some sleep. You could be up all night, not able to sleep because you have too much stuff on your mind. And I feel like when I did the weekly reading for you guys, I had that Nine of Swords kind of energy where you were not sleeping. And so it could be that you are very stressed out and you need to find a way to relax, a way to allow yourself to breathe through it, to take a nap when you need to. So in the recent past, you've been seeking peace. You have been trying to find, where is the peace? How do I get there? What can I do to change things in my life to bring about the peace? So I also just heard meditation. So if you are really seeking that quiet space, and, you know, taking time for a nap could also be taking time out to just meditate. You may end up falling asleep, you know, as you learn how to meditate. That often happens. And so, but that's okay, because there's that sense of peace and calm that comes in. In the area of transformation, you have the yin in reverse. Yin is about receptive energy, but when it's in the reverse of this position, it's about taking action. Okay, so what it feels like, because it feels like for those of you who overgive, you need to allow people to give to you. For those of you who take too much, it's time to give. And for those of you, I heard balance. And so I feel almost as though maybe you give a lot of your time and energy at work, but you don't give enough time to yourself for self-care and self-nurturing. And so bringing that back into balance might be part of this. Are you spending a lot of your positive energy out there in the, the world, networking and getting along with people and doing all those things that you need to do? Because this time of Aries is in your 10th house of career. So that's that work-life balance and trying to bring things into balance with this full moon happening in the opposite sign. And I really feel like there's this need to remember that giving at home, coming home with enough energy to give time at home, but maybe in order to do that, you actively use your commute time to transition from work to home. Listen to music that you enjoy. Maybe you stop somewhere and sit for a little while in some peace and quiet before you hit the home life where you have to shift gears, because sometimes that's hard. So in the future, in the area of abundance, you have TikTok. You guys always feel like you're so worried about running out of time on something. I just want to see what the book has to say on this, because it feels like you're feeling all kinds of pressure on time. Okay, so in the upright, this is you aligning yourself with the time. Okay, so things are going to be slowing down because Mercury is in retrograde. And I think you're going to have to, so building, don't tightly schedule. Build room into your schedule to allow for, so usually say you have your appointment set up during the day, well, I see this person at 10 and then this one's at 10:30, at 10:35. And then the next one I see at, 11:10 or however you set it up so that there's only 5 minutes in between. Maybe you need to make it so that it's more like 15 minutes in between to allow for people to be late, because even though you won't be late, you'll make yourself crazy to be on time. Other people may be running into things that make them late. And so if you have it scheduled so there's some kind of a cushion in between and you're not so tightly packed, you can tell them, whatever you want to make that, but to create that space to allow for people to not be necessarily on time. Also, I want to say time management. You're going to have an abundance of opportunities to manage your time over the next 2 weeks. but it feels beneficial. It feels very helpful. Okay, in the recent past, you have been struggling with the idea of soulmates. So I go back to, again, this full moon happening in your 4th house of home. Soulmates come into our lives to teach us lessons, to help us heal, to take us to our next level. Sometimes they pass through our lives in short order. Sometimes they stick around for a long time. Sometimes the lessons they teach us are beneficial. Well, they're all beneficial, but they feel comfortable, and some of them feel extremely uncomfortable. And so a soulmate, there's this energy of trying to figure out, I think, about a relationship, and maybe the time for the nap is to just not worry about that so much at this moment. In the future, in the heart space, you have thinker. I never like to see that card there, and I don't care if it's in the upright or the reverse. When you are overanalyzing in the heart space, that means you are not using your intuition, which is a real detriment in that area. I think you do yourself a disservice. Listening to your intuition is so much more important than thinking when it's matters of the heart. Allowing yourself to feel your way through it. Leave the analyzing up in the head space, but down in the heart space, it should be matters of the heart, not thinking. Let's see what else we get here. So you've been fighting a change in the wind. In the area of obstacles in the past, you have a change in the wind in the reverse, which tells me that you have been trying really, really hard not to you're like, in that energy of, I don't want anything to change. It's too uncomfortable if it changes. It creates all these other issues if it changes. There's got to be some way to make this thing work out. And somehow or the other, this has become a real obstacle for you, creating the change. But now it's the time of regeneration. This is nice. It looks like you're on your way. So a volcano came down, erupted. Volcano erupted. That would have been like a real tower moment. Something shook everything up, and it looks like everything caught on fire and burned up. But here in this plant, this tree, there are new leaves sprouting. And so even though there's fire in the lava around it, this tree is resilient. This tree is going to grow again. This tree is you. So even though it seems like everything is tumbled down around you, you are resilient. You are strong enough. You can bring this back, and you will. Here we go. Good. We have deep inner knowing in the future. So deep inner knowing is listening to your intuition, your knowledge. It's also taking the wisdom of lifetimes plus, and the wisdom of this lifetime, things that have happened, and the experiences that we have, and it goes from knowing stuff to like that real wisdom of deeply knowing in your heart of hearts what's right to do. This is the only card that really, I don't like it there at all. I'm going to take a card on that, and then we'll go ahead and clarify here. I just want to know what that means in the heart space, this thinker card. Like, what's the advice for that? These cards are not behaving. I feel like you're like, no. I followed my heart before, and look where it got me, and so now I'm going to use my brain and think my way through things. That's what I feel like I'm hearing here. Okay, so what do we have? We have abundance, and we have compassion. And so, yes, have a compassion, an abundance of compassion for yourself, for your situation, for how you got there, because it was with a soulmate. You were learning lessons. This could be taking it to the next level. This does not mean a breakup. This could mean a breakup, but it could also mean that something erupted at the house, like big major fight, blah, blah, blah. Everybody like word vomited and got their stuff out there, and then take the time to step back and go, okay, wait. Okay, so that wasn't working. How can we make this work? But it's going to take compassion, a passion for yourself, for the fact that you're human and you're not perfect, compassion for your partner, they're not human and they're not perfect, and how can you work through this? For some of you, it is the end of a situation, and you have looking at it and you're going, well, I don't know, how did I miss all those things? I should have been paying attention. I got to make sure I don't do that next time. Again, Kuan Yin says, have compassion for yourself, have compassion for others. This week while I was in meditation, Kuan Yin showed up, and that's what she told me. Actually, she said, everybody's just doing the best they can. And that includes you. That's what she said to me. And that includes you. So you're just doing the best you can. And that includes you. So we have here the Hermit, retreat and recharge. That's time for a nap. So yes, take some time for yourself. Allow the healing to happen before you move forward. And we have broken broken arrow. Embrace energy of peace. So we have the peace. You need to regenerate. So if a situation has been, destroyed, this regeneration, this is you regenerating, you taking the time to heal. If there's this big disagreement that needs to be sorted out, heal yourself and allow space for your partner to do the same. But whatever it was, it feels so divinely guided when I see that serendipity there. And it does say, expect a powerful change. And when a volcano erupts, that's a powerful change. And so something has definitely been shaken. Something has changed in a very significant way. How you do it, who you are with, something like that. Wow. Okay. So you have resilience. Of course you do. That's perfect. Rise above tribulations. You have the owl, which is follow your intuition. Follow your intuition. You have gratitude. Be grateful for all you have. That's that serendipity card. Look at your situation and understand that you learned something from it, whatever it is, and take that information because you also have epiphany. You have epiphany. This is that deep inner knowing. It's like that aha moment. Like, oh my gosh, look what I just learned about me. Look what I learned about my relationship. Look at my relationship patterns, whatever it is. It's something where there's this oh my gosh moment. Like, oh, now I get it. So listen to your intuition, follow your inner wisdom, and know that you are resilient and you are going to regenerate. But you need to take time to heal. If you have just gotten out of a relationship, jumping into another one without going through the healing process almost guarantees, in my opinion, that it will not be successful in the long run. It may be successful for a while, but if you haven't done the inner work, it is really hard to get there. So open yourself to true abundance. In the heart space, we have this abundance card, this compassion and abundance card that came up. And so true abundance is not Taurus. Oh, Taurus. Taurus, you know how to create wealth. That is never your problem. You know how to create financial abundance. You know how to create financial security. What I find Tauruses struggle with is creating emotional abundance. Allowing themselves to make mistakes and allowing for other people to make mistakes. I have a lot of Taurus friends because I have so much water in my chart. Male, female, I am just like all over my relationships, Tauruses, and I really get along. And the thing that I have noticed is that particularly in the male Tauruses, and so I'm going to cover that quickly and then we'll go to the female because that's the majority of my viewers, right? Male Tauruses somehow feel that it is so important to be financially solid and secure so that they can be under control, in charge of their life. I notice this with females too, but it's different because females, they feel the need to also make sure that their children are feeling loved and nurtured, and so they open themselves up. And so sometimes when you are pouring all this abundance, out that you're trying to build for yourself to make everybody else feel safe and secure around you. And this is true too. I have a Taurus friend who will drop and run to go rescue you if you need him to. And he wears himself out. He stretches himself so thin that he doesn't leave enough for himself. This happens. Oh, gosh. Okay, so this happens with males and females. I have noticed this. I'm itching like crazy. So we're on mark here. This is what we're supposed to be talking about. Not reserving enough for yourself. Giving and giving and giving, which would be this yin in reverse. Is that the transition is you need to open up to receive, to allow a relationship that has more balance in it, where you are receiving support in a very emotional way, in an energy way, so energetically. So So somebody so say you're a mom and you have these kids and you're giving and you're doing all the work. So you're working outside the home, you're working inside the home, you're providing. Asking them to give back is important, right? Asking them to share in the responsibility so that it is not all on you, so that you're not worked to a frazzle, so that you have time to nap. And so this could be something like at home, all of a sudden you totally lost and you're like, I am so sick of carrying the burden around here. I work myself to a bone, and where are you guys in the picture of helping to make this house work? And this could be your epiphany, this aha moment. It's like, when are you guys going to jump in and pitch in? This cannot all be on me. Nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself. The change that's happening, whatever it is, whatever this volcano moment was, this tower moment where you kind of blew your top and said, this is how it is. There is a moment of clarity that came with it. There's an epiphany in your heart, and roll with it. It was necessary. It will move you forward in a way that needs to be moved forward. So open yourself to the true abundance. Allow yourself to receive from others. Allow yourself to receive from spirit. Allow yourself to feel gratitude for what you have and not worry so much about not having enough. So what is enough, right? And that's what everybody has to decide. But sometimes we worry so much about these milestones that we feel we need to reach to look good to the world. But do you really need it for you to be happy? And so weighing on a scale of your happiness to your exhaustion, where's the balance? There's so many cards here about you resting and healing. So make some time for that, okay? Is that it? All right. Let's pull you a crystal card. Or 2 or 3. You guys got a lot of cards out here. Building into your schedule time for you. And I don't mean taking that vacation once a year. I mean on a weekly basis. Carving some space for you. So you have Ruby. You have the Ruby gemstone. And it says, vital life force flows vibrantly through me. I am grateful for my energetic passions for life. So the gratitude is being brought up again. Be grateful for the really good things in your life. When you are worried about what you don't have, instead of being grateful for what you do have, that puts you in that chasing, not attracting mode. So you attract more abundance to you when you recognize how much you have, and that's abundance in all forms. If you feel like you don't have enough abundance of help, if you feel like you don't have enough abundance of love, if you feel like you don't have enough abundance of financial, whatever it is, instead take the time with this full moon to count your blessings. Count your blessings in these different arenas and recognize how much you already do have. And that gratitude lifts your vibration, which attracts in higher vibrational things. So maybe you feel like you're doing all the work at home, but maybe you aren't. Maybe it feels like that. And when you blew your top and you had this big fit, and they're like, wait a minute, I do this and this and this and this. You are not actually doing everything. You need to look around, and why don't you ever say you're grateful? That might be a part of the conversation too. So say please, say thank you, and be grateful for what you have. And open your heart to being okay with not being perfect. And no one else is either, okay? All right, so Taurus, I will see you back here in a couple weeks, and be looking on Thursdays for the weekly moon astrology or astrological report. I haven't decided what it would be. I will talk to you later. You have a great week. Take care of yourselves. Get some rest. Looks like you really need it. Okay?